Hey, that's a really smooth shave you got there.
Gee, thanks. I use Edge Pro Gel.
Hey guys, could we? Nine. Edge has 9 different formulas.
Really?
Wow, your face is so soft.
That's Edge for sensitive skin.
Next time, use your own can of Edge.
That was my can.
Was not.
Locker room's that way for a can of Edge.
Boy, I can use a close shave.
Everyone's skin is different, so Edge Pro Gel comes in 9 different formulas to meet your individual shaving needs. Edge, save your skin.
Yeah, Edge!
This NFL Films production is a presentation of the National Football League. NFL team highlight films are brought to you by Edge Pro Gel. Save your skin.
On January 29th, 2001, the future of the Cleveland Browns took a dramatic turn.
We're pleased to announce that the Cleveland Browns have a head coach that's ready to take over the leadership and management of this team and take us to the levels that we expect.
One thing is certain, the levels reached last year were not very high. The team's lack of direction took them on a season-long detour, which resulted in a disastrous dead end. No, the 2000 Browns were not a pretty picture. Their offense ranked last in the entire league. They couldn't run the football, and when they went to the air, the results were less than satisfying. On those rare occasions they found themselves near an opponent's goal line, they often found a way to avoid scoring at all. The team's poor performance left the city and the coaching staff stunned. An unprecedented raft of injuries didn't help. In preseason, Ty Detmer tore his Achilles and was lost for the year. His injury robbed the Browns of a capable backup to Tim Couch. In the season's second week, 2 offensive starters went down. Jim Pine tore up his right knee, and outstanding rookie receiver Juwan Dawson suffered a broken clavicle. Both players were lost for the entire year. In Game 5, starting running back Eric Rett went down untouched. His broken left foot erased him for the rest of the season and left the ground game to a pair of untested rookies. All told, 4 Cleveland quarterbacks, among them Ty Detmer, Kevin Thompson, and number 13 Spurgeon Wynn, went on injured reserve. But the most brutal blow came in a seemingly harmless practice session. In a freak accident, Tim Couch broke his thumb when his follow-through hit the arm of an on-rushing teammate. He, too, was lost for the season.
I really thought we were going to have a good team. I thought we were going to be really competitive. I don't know if we made it to the playoffs, but I thought we were going to be a competitive football team. And, all of a sudden the injury bug hit us. We had a lot of guys go down, and, we had guys that were out for the season. We didn't have guys that were getting hurt for a couple weeks, and we could expect them back. We were going down for the year.
I think what hurt us more than anything is that we were such a new team, our second year in the league, that we just didn't have the depth to deal with any injuries. And so each one that happened just put us further behind the 8 ball.
Their 3-13 record seemed even worse than the expansion nightmare the year before. Ultimately, it led to a change in coaches and philosophies.
Butch Davis was the #1 candidate of this organization to become our head coach after it was announced that Chris Palmer was leaving.
I am thrilled to death and very honored that Mr. Lerner and Carmen had enough faith to trust me to become the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. It's a great opportunity. It's truly one of the most dynamic organizations in all of professional football.
Butch Davis is the leader of the Cleveland Browns football team. And I think that these young athletes are definitely going to be a reflection of the man you see seated in front of you. And I think that the person you've seen on national TV coaching the University of Miami football team and the person we've seen on national TV being the coordinator for the defense of the world champion Dallas Cowboys is going to be the perfect reflection for our young players to respond to.
Everything that you do in your life is a habit, okay? How you practice is a habit. You practice good fundamentals or you practice bad fundamentals. You're respectful to your parents or you're not respectful to your parents. Winning is a habit, so is losing is a habit. Develop habits that give you a chance to be a champion. That's it, good. I want to create an atmosphere on this practice field where there's no fear of failure. You're not worried about failing because you'll never be as good as you can possibly be if you're afraid that every little mistake is going to be something that's going to be overcritical by the coaches. Push yourself to see how good you can be. If you're going to make a mistake, I'd lot rather you make it in here than on Sunday afternoon. Push yourself to find out how high can you go. Do the little things right. Great football teams, teams that are going to win, do things right. And they do the little things right. They block, they tackle, they don't make mental mistakes, they protect the football, they learn to finish plays. Receivers catching the ball, tucking it, putting it away, and finishing the play by getting upfield. Defensive backs putting a hand in the hole, trying to strip the ball out, is finishing the play. Learn to develop good habits. You develop good habits by practice. You do it time after time after time. Sunday, it's second nature, and winning takes care of itself. Winning takes care of itself. Tim, get in here. Get in here. Let's go. Browns on three.
Go Browns on three, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Browns!
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural game in Paul Brown Stadium on a rainy afternoon. A sold-out crowd for the Bengals and the Browns to renew the rivalry. This is the way football ought to be.
With the Browns' faithful flying high, Tim Couch immediately sought the stratosphere.
Couch back to pass in the first play of the game. Going long. He's got a man open down the side. It's Patton over the shoulder. He's got it. Down the sideline. Inside the 15-yard line. And the Browns hit a big one. A 64-yard pass. Prentice in the backfield. Ball backed up beyond the 15. They're going to come near side on a toss. And Prentice has the corner. 10, 5, touchdown.
What a great call.
And it's Travis Prentice going in for the touchdown. What about that kid Prentice playing in the shadow of where he played, Miami of Ohio?
Prentice's touchdown opened the scoring and opened the skies for a full-scale aerial assault.
Couch on a rollout, rolling near side, looking, fires into the end zone, touchdown, Mark Campbell! As Couch got through when he threw the ball, he got laid out, and he still stuck it in there to Campbell.
The early bombing broke the Bengals' morale, prompting Courtney Brown to fire the first salvo of his pro career.
Shut down the run, we're ready.
They thought the old Browns were gonna come back. It's new Browns, baby.
Got some hungry dogs out there, baby.
Now we gotta get some sacks, baby.
The Browns went after Akili Smith, sacking him 7 times. When the beleaguered Bengal did manage to get a pass off, he found the skies to be rather unfriendly.
Sanders goes up and intercepts it in the end zone!
This their first game, they out of shape.
They tired as hell.
While Cincinnati wore down, Couch warmed up, looking off 3 receivers before finally finding his 4th option.
Couch is back, throws across the middle, it's caught, touchdown, Mark Edwards!
Yeah, baby, I see you work. Taking them apart, Couchy. Hey, like that, baby. Hey, that's everybody making plays right there. That's everybody making plays.
That's fun football. That's the way a game's supposed to be played.
Couch's poise produced a 24-7 win and proved that although the Bengals named their stadium in Paul Brown's honor, his legacy lived in the team from Cleveland that bears his name.
I just want to tell you how much I appreciate what happened today. This Cleveland Browns football team that played today in a very unfriendly stadium can beat any team in this league on any Sunday. And I'm just looking forward to it. This is the best day so far since I've been in this business. I just want to win. I don't much care whether it's Paul Brown Stadium or any other stadium. I just want to have a higher score than the other team.
After we beat Cincinnati, it seemed as though maybe we had turned a corner. Because we not only won the game, we looked like we knew what we were doing.
The Browns continue to wear that look well in Week 3, with their greatest hero in attendance for a tilt against the hated Pittsburgh Steelers. And on this day, no one took the rivalry to heart more than Courtney Brown, whose 3-sack, 9-tackle day marked his Cleveland Stadium coming out party. While one top pick led the defense, another spurred the offense to a 14-0 lead.
Fake Couch in the pocket, looking right side, Edwards wide open, touchdown!
The second-year signal caller put on a show for the sellout crowd, completing 23 of 31 passes for 316 yards.
Couch is back to pass in the end zone, a lot of time, down the middle, throwing, is caught! He's to the 40, Kevin Johnson to the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, and he's down inside the Steelers 15!
But the Steelers weathered the offensive storm, and with time winding down, the outcome hung on one play.
14 seconds left to go in the game. 73,018 at the edge of their seat, if they're in their seats at all. Line of scrimmage is at the 7. 23-20. Browns lead by 3. Steps up. He gets hit, and it's Courtney Brown again.
A hat trick for Courtney Brown.
The Steelers with 4 seconds are trying to get the field goal team on. 2, 1. They won't get the kickoff, and the Browns win it. The Browns have won it. The Steelers ran out of time, and they couldn't get the field goal team on the field, and the Browns have won their first regular season game at home since back in 1995.
To come back home and beat the dreaded and hated Pittsburgh Steelers and do it in really thrilling fashion almost seemed like it was too good to believe, and people were pinching each other and saying, is this real?
The 2-1 record turned out to be a mirage, and the Browns would not win again until Week 11. The defense forced 5 turnovers, which helped set up 4 Phil Dawson field goals. Aaron Shea's second effort would provide the other points in a 19-11 victory.
Bootleg to the right, looking throws, it goes to Aaron Shea, at the 5, dives, touchdown!
He shook off a tackle, strong run for the touchdown after the catch.
The win boosted the Browns' record to 3-8, but the triumph was tinged with a taste of bittersweet. Cleveland would not win another game during the 2000 season. In fact, the fate of these Cleveland Browns was sealed rather surreptitiously on a sunny day in Arizona.
That was the one game that would tell the story about our team. If we were going to be any good at all, we had to win that game.
Prentice tailback, Couch gives, Prentice cuts left, trying to get to the pylon, he dances in, touchdown! His second of the game!
We got out to a 14-0 lead, and it was looking pretty good, and then it just kind of came apart on us.
Draw play goes to Jones, he cuts to the 5, to the right, to the 1, to the touchdown as he goes in.
The resulting collapse served as a grim eye-opener for the Browns front office. It confirmed their worst fears.
The Arizona game signaled to me personally that the team was in trouble, and that whatever progress we may have thought we made, or whatever progress we may have hoped we had achieved, really was illusory.
I agree with him 100%. We jumped out to a 14-0 lead. We should have won the game, and it's a game that we expected to win, but we just went there and just kind of shut it down after we got the lead and let them come back and beat us. And I thought after that, it kind of took the wind out of ourselves a little bit.
From that point forward, losing that game, along with the injuries, the team seemed to lose confidence, and we just kind of went downhill.
The air quickly left the balloon, and I realized then that we were in deep trouble. It didn't surprise me when we started a precipitous slide from that point forward. It was grueling, and it was very disheartening, and I didn't think it would be as bad as it was. By the end of the year, we realized that it was just unbearable.
In Tim Couch and Courtney Brown, Cleveland has their cornerstones for the future. They are establishing themselves not only as eventual All-Pros, but also ambassadors of the game of football.
I got a lift, I'm sorry.
With these two pivotal pieces in place, the Browns front office knew that a special kind of coach was needed to mold these young players into contenders. They believe they found their man.
We wanted Butch Davis in 1998. We're on record having indicated that Butch Davis was always one of our prime candidates to become the head coach of the Browns.
He's a great motivator. He's a great players coach. He's a great football guy. He's established an attitude that will help us to succeed.
That's the effect that Butch had when he walked into the building.
Somebody's got to beat a guy.
It's as though this energy,
You got to swim them, rip them, and you almost got there.
this sense of hope was on board, and it's just permeating every office, every corner.
But we got to go with the urgency, a little more urgency on the blitz.
And people started understanding that someone special was occupying the head coach's office.
We ran 15 fakes in Miami. Really? We'll fake them. We got guys, we got punters and stuff that can throw. We'll fake, hand off, run options. I know it. I like that.
Players want to be trusted, they want to be coached, they want to be motivated, they want to be taught, and if they feel like that you are clearly committed to them becoming the best athlete and the best player they can, they'll do anything they can to help you succeed.
So how much you weigh? Do you really? I asked Coach last night, and I tell you what, you got a good-looking 261. I was going to guess like 250. You think can you carry 10 more?
Yes, sir.
The right kind?
What's impressed me about Butch is he's got that aura about him. You know, he's the guy in charge. He's the guy running the show. When he's out on the field, you can see his emotional side. You know, he loves hugging and kissing the players, and he's patting them on the butt, and he's very energetic and emotional, and I think that rubs off on the team.
He has a lot of enthusiasm. He's ready to go. He's getting everybody in it, getting everybody involved, ready to go, and I think we're gonna have a pretty good year this year.
Something about him, you just want to draw to him and hear what he has to say. And even, he calls the guys up, guys are peeking in, trying to hear what he's saying. So guys are hanging on his words, which is important.
Curl to drop, hold off one, let two expand you, but don't go rally on them. Great stem, good stick. If the fullback's head's on the inside, it's got to be right up his ass and bam it. Ball your fists up, guys. Ball your fists up. Try to motor your feet. Low and slow, slow, slow. Work lower, Chris. Chris, lower. Stretch good, no pull, a happy groin.
I think he's a dynamic person
Oh, yeah!
with great people skills.
You keep making plays like that, we'll renew your scholarship for next year. Okay. All right?
Davis is also a teacher, a trait that will be essential with a mostly unpolished group.
It's
foremost in his lesson plan, showing his charges how to win again.
It's about doing it right. I don't care how many times you do it, just do it right. Do the little things. Focus right now, focus.
The Browns lost their focus in 2000. With injuries mounting and the players' confidence waning, it seemed that success was fated to slip their grasp. But with a healthy, more mature Tim Couch, the cloudy skies of 2000 are yielding to a bright future. A future that these new Browns hope will remind their fans just a little bit of the past and the days when the Browns rode the smooth arm of a signal caller to championship form. Couch's pinpoint accuracy will be at the center of that movement. Number 2 was number 3 in the NFL in completion percentage in 2000, hitting his targets at a nearly 64% clip.
And as they say, at some time, a young quarterback, the lights are going to go on, and the high beams are on today.
His touch is uncanny, his elusiveness beyond expectations. and he will be executing a game plan guided by new offensive coordinator Bruce Arians, which will make use of the full complement of his arsenal.
I love the new offense. I feel comfortable with it. It's something I think I can be really successful in, and we can be successful in as an offense.
It gives Tim the chance to be the great quarterback that he has the ability to be. If you talk to him about it, he loves this offense. It's a very quarterback-friendly offense, although it puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
It's like going from Spanish to French. I mean, everything's brand new. Learning the language, formations, the motions, everything. We have a quarterback who can be outstanding. We give him protection and a good running game, and I think we can strike from anywhere on the field. We want to be able to run the football because that gives you the great play-action passing game. You need big chunks of yards in this game to score. You got to get a big chunk or two, and you have to get that in the play-action passing game. If you can't run the ball, there is no play-action passing game.
Running the ball in 2001 will be a group effort. Travis Prentice returns after a promising rookie season in which he scored 7 touchdowns. He'll team with third-round pick James Jackson, who played under Butch Davis in Miami, and veteran Eric Rett, who will be returning after an injury-shortened season. The receiving corps will be led by the sure-handed Kevin Johnson, who led the team in receiving for the 2nd straight season.
If you've been wondering, where's Kevin Johnson? There he is.
Darren Cheverini, number 84, gives the Browns a solid possession receiver. Right from the start, young Dennis Northcutt had his problems. Despite a disappointing rookie year and a broken collarbone suffered in minicamp, the Browns are hoping that Northcutt can rebound and provide speed and valuable run-after-catch yards for the offense. One very welcome addition will be second-round draft pick Quincy Morgan, who caught 64 passes for 1,166 yards in his last year at Kansas State.
I need it, kids. I need the ball.
Don't worry, Juwan. They'll be looking to get it to you. Your athletic ability and playmaking potential guarantee it. It is a youthful group that the Browns expect will have their fans cheering for years to come. You need to leave the defense to the big dogs. And the biggest dog in the yard is Courtney Brown. In 2000, Brown fully lived up to the expectations that come with being the first pick in the entire draft.
He's unbelievable. I mean, not only does he have a tremendous motor, he's going 100 mile an hour all the time. He's so quick off the ball, which is a quality that's very important. He's getting bigger and stronger. So Courtney's going to be able to play a long time in this league.
All the veterans around the league, offensive, defensively, everybody talks about Courtney Brown because it's been a while since we've seen a guy with that type of talent. I mean, we've seen the Bruce Smith, the straight hands, but nobody has the combination he has, and the whole world is just waiting on him to go out and just understand what he really can do, how he can dominate.
Brown plays the game with a quiet intensity, and his ability to stop the run, as well as the pass, opened up opportunities for the rest of his mates, not the least of which was defensive end Keith McKenzie. In his 5th year as a pro, McKenzie had perhaps his finest season, leading the club with 8 sacks. Though strong at defensive end, Cleveland entered the offseason desperately in need of some big beef in the middle of the line. Mark Smith, a free agent from the Arizona Cardinals, will provide depth in the interior. But in number 61, Gerard Warren of Florida, the Browns may have their long-term solution. His presence should make the rest of his teammates, including Orpheus Roy, Jameer Miller, and Wally Rayner, all that more effective at stuffing the run. New defensive coordinator Foge Fazio has a solid burgeoning core of ball hawks that should make ball control frightening for their opponents in the coming season.
the thing that we like to hope to do, one, is to create more turnovers, be more aggressive in trying to get the ball back, interception, cause fumbles. We like to keep them out of the end zone. So if we can accomplish those two things, keep them out of the end zone and create turnovers, we will be successful.
In the secondary, Corey Fuller led the team in interceptions. With a young defensive backfield, his experience will be needed.
Deep for Lewis at the right side, and it's intercepted by Corey Fuller!
Right corner Dalen McCutcheon continued to improve and impress with a keen nose for the ball. Safeties Marquis Smith and Percy Ellsworth round out a secondary that has definite big play potential.
It's intercepted by Percy Ellsworth! 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
In 2000, the defense had a dearth of big game-turning plays. Free agent linebacker Dwayne Rudd should help to change that. His impact will be immediate.
Having Coach Davis, a defensive-minded guy, and then coming and getting my old defensive coordinator in Foge Fazio was a cherry on top of the Sunday.
That cherry will make Sundays more exciting.
Dwayne's going to be all over the field. He got tremendous athletic ability. He's fast, can cover a lot of ground. He can cover wide receivers. That's how talented he is.
And Butch Davis will be utilizing that talent in unique ways. Mike Sellers will have a key role at the newly installed H-back position. In the new offensive scheme, you can never have enough tight ends. So the team signed Ricky Dudley away from Oakland. He'll be joined by O.J. Santiago and Aaron Shea, who caught 30 passes for 302 yards in 2000. Along with Mark Campbell, Shea's teammate at Michigan, they'll form one of the deepest groups of tight ends in the league. The offensive line has also gotten deeper. Deeper, bigger, and meaner. The signing of Pro Bowlers Ross Verba and Trey Johnson was a free agent coup for Cleveland. Their intensity and talent translates into more time to throw for Tim Couch and more space to run for the backs. This pair should make the trenches terribly unpleasant for the opposition. Along with Dave Wolbaugh, Roman Oben, and the injured Jim Pine, they will comprise the nucleus of a line that will be at the center of the Browns' return to prominence.
When we think about the Cleveland Browns, we obviously think of the past, where the great glory rested on the shoulders of Paul Brown and the many, many Hall of Famers that made up those championship teams. But when we think of the Browns, we must think of the future. Butch Davis is a key and integral part of that plan for the future. You're going to see a brand of football that you expect of the Cleveland Browns.
People are going to love watching this football team play because we're going to lay it on the line every Sunday.
It'll be tough, it'll be exciting, it'll be unyielding, and God willing, it'll be victorious.
The pieces are in place. We have an owner that is highly competitive and will do whatever it takes to get us to a championship. We have the head coach, we have the quarterback, we have the organization to get this team to the Super Bowl.
We're going to get to where we need to be as soon as possible. We're going to do it in a way that will give us some consistency once we get there.
Hold on to your hat, because what you've been hoping for may very well be right around the corner.
It clearly is. It is a plan for tomorrow, and it's a plan to be a champion.
Edge Pro Gel presents the Cleveland Browns Ultimate Performance of 2000. The Browns are moving forward with a talented young trio. Tim Couch's accuracy gives Cleveland its quarterback for the future in the here and now, while Kevin Johnson's acrobatics give Couch a sure-handed target. On the defense, N. Courtney Brown anchors a young unit that will give opposing offenses fits for years to come.
Edge Pro Gel is the official shave gel of the NFL. Save your skin.
All right, Boucher.
This NFL Films production has been brought to you by the National Football League. The NFL is online at www.nfl.com.